so you can have a little background music for Shavasana. So welcome to our week of Thanksgiving practice. So we know every time we practice, we are thankful. We cultivate the attitude of gratitude. But this week, the rest of the world joins us, or at least the rest of the United States, kind of, sort of. So that will be our direction, our focus, our intentions, because as we gather together, little buttons can be pushed. And so maybe we find a place in our yoga practice to go so those buttons don't affect us. Sorry, it's always that morning crunchy breath for me. So we're going to start seated on our mat. We'll do eagle pose today, the grateful warrior pose, and some nice opening, just opening ourselves up to a beautiful week. All right, let's come to Samasthiti. So you can sit cross-legged or on a bench or on a chair or on your knees, a sitting position where you can come to the moment and assess. So in yoga, we're always kind of looking at ourselves, not just physically, am I doing the pose right? Is this feeling proper for me? But also we're noticing our connection to our mind. Am I letting go of that judgment? So I sit with support with my hands on my thighs, though you can flip your fingers up. Mula Bandha, that lifting and grounding, that action of Uddiyana, the lifting of the spine, the relaxing through the neck and shoulders, your crown of head. This is the connection to the greater whatever. So we're rooted and lifted and creating space in our body. The eyes can be opened or lowered or even closed. As you become aware of the breath and how it's feeling, maybe we slow the breath. Once we slow the breath, we may feel a subsiding of energy or tension or things that are sitting out there on our plate yet to be done. Maybe we deepen the breath, so a more mindful application of an abdominal wall pressing in, a fuller belly on the breath. And oftentimes, deep breathing, if not practiced regularly, can create a sense of lightheadedness. So if that happens, return to that normal breath. So oftentimes in our practice, I like to move with the breath. And then sometimes we hold and let the breath just accompany us. So the importance of our breath can't be understated. And with that next inhalation, flutter your eyes open, stretch your arms to the sides of your body. As the arms are available, as to shoulder, raise the arms up, join the palms together, place the hands at your heart. Here's where we cultivate our attitude of gratitude. And then I'm going to sit and spin. So if you're crossing your legs every once in a while, recross them in another way. So shifting side, front, side, and back. So early in a practice, I tend to do things on the smaller side, and if it feels okay, then I'll go a little bit bigger. But I'll let you figure that out for yourselves. Pause. We're going to go the other direction, and for me, I'm going to switch my legs at this point. So now as I go around the other way, So for some, this is an awakening through the lumbar. For some, the shoulders, the hips. And then we pause, coming back center. So take the hands to the sides or maybe a little behind your body. The pelvis is anchored on the mat. I want you to imagine someone's pulling your shirt from one side and the other side. So you follow that shirt and then you follow that shirt. These are lateral motions, activating our oblique muscles, and again, stretching through that low back. So even those of us who have spinal stenosis, where there is some limiting of space, lateral motion should be available to you. And now let's pause on your right side as you're facing me, using that right hand for support to your back, and reach the other arm out. And I'm going to draw circles with the arm. This is going to bring some energy into my shoulder. So I'm kind of pitched over on the angle. I'm going to just draw some circles. The position of your arm doesn't matter. The palm can be down, the thumb can be up, just whatever feels more comfortable to your shoulder joint. And my circles are getting a little bigger. Now, if there's a wall behind you, like there's a wall behind me, be a little aware of that. And my circles are getting even larger. So I'm leaning a little further and more weight on my right hand. And then I'll pause. So I'm going to start big as I come from behind and go forward. Keep making it big, but we're going to diminish this circle. Nothing should be painful as you move. Perhaps maybe a bending of the elbow is more appropriate, or a smaller diameter circle. Mine is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And then I'll look at my hand, flexing it back and pointing it down. So when I flex, I look at my hand. When I point down, I look away. Little flossing for us this morning. Go ahead, drop that hand. Write yourself more neutral. Notice the warmth that you've generated. Lean onto that left hand. Fingertips maybe more on the palms as you reach the right arm out. It's about shoulder height, and I'm not forward, so even if you're sitting differently, try and stay upright, but just tipped. Begin those circles. I always start back, but you could start forward. These are smaller circles to begin with. Check in with your breath. My circle begins to enlarge. I'm noticing if there's any concerns. Address those concerns by going slower or making it smaller. Pause with your arm back. I'm going to lean a little further over so I feel my side is stretching and making it more open. Now I'm going to come from the back in a big way. Go big. Go big. And then eventually I will diminish the size, the rotation of my arm. Find your breath. And eventually you're back to a small circle. And then look at the hand, point the fingers up and point the fingers down. When the fingers are down, look back. Fingers are up, look at the hand. How about them bendas? Is that zipper zipped? And last time, drop the arm that's up. Bring yourself back to center and let's go to the lower body. You can extend your legs in front. I'm going to turn to the side because it makes it easier for you to see. I'm sitting on a pillow today. It's a kind of skinny little pillow. I'll use my hands behind because I want my spine supported. If you can do this like a staff pose without the assist of the hands, surely you can do that. It's just a little more strength. Otherwise, use those fingers to support you. My feet are not together as I flex and pull my toes back, and then maybe see if I can separate one toe from the other. One toe from the other, one toe from the other. Can you put a little space like you have wet polish on your toes? And then stretch the feet forward. That can be a pointing of the toes, but if it makes you cramp, you don't have to point the toes, but you could. And then go between the flex and the point. Bandha's breath. So I'm going to remove the hands and lean back and pick up one of my legs underneath. So rather than rounding, I want you to stay elongated through your spine, and let's go a few twirls of the ankle. So the movement through our ankles are important to our everyday living. Go the other way. It allows us to maneuver. If you're a hiker, you go out walking, you step on rocks or uneven surfaces the whole walk. Even on sidewalks, there can be tree roots that are popping up. Okay, then I'm going to straighten and bend the leg. Just bring a little lubrication into my knee joint. Where your leg goes, not so important. If it doesn't go up, it could go out. Could go out, or it could go up wherever it feels it can. Do try and get it on the straight side. All right, let's switch those legs. So belly in, chest up, lean back, pick up your other leg. And when I'm holding on to that leg, my shoulders may creep up, so be aware. We don't need that to happen today. And go the other direction. So every time you're sitting around, I think we should twirl our ankles. That's my thinking. Flexing and pointing a few times and then straightening that leg. Oh. Now sometimes one leg may feel a little off or one arm off. Most of us have two of each, but not always do they function the same. And then I'm going to put that leg down. Bandha Konasana, bottom of the feet together, sole of the feet together. Present those feet where they feel appropriate. Grab hold of your ankles or your shins. Kind of rock around on your sit bones until you recognize you're not rolling onto the tailbone. And then use the hands, pardon me, to lean back a little bit, and you'll feel that upper traps get a little stretch as well. Maybe lift the heart here. And we're going to move into a cat pose. So we are going to dump back into our back, draw in through our belly, roll toward our tailbone, and bow the head without forcing. Use your hands and pull yourself right back up. And do that cat and cow in this seated Bandha Konasana position. For some, it may be that broadening through the upper back that feels really nice. For some, it could be a stretch through the lower back. For some, it could be an opening through your hip joint. And we will go there next. So as I come back to my upright position, use my hands and pull my torso through in that hinging position. This safeguards your back. Now you can look and peer down and look at your foot, or you can begin to release the body weight forward. A sense of sinking, monitoring, softening. Remember this place when tension is upon us, there is always a feeling of this: releasing, surrendering, letting go. Mindfully roll yourself back up, taking all the time that you need. Bandhas, bandhas, spine, spine. Take one of your hands, it won't matter which one. And as it goes back, it's not just the hand going back, but draw the shoulder back as well. So we create a spinal rotation. Taking your time, for some of you, spinal twists are a little concerning. Other hand can come to the opposite leg, and then use that to look a little behind you. Just an easy stretch. We'll be doing a different version of twisting later. Go ahead, release the arms, grab back to your legs, get back up nice and tall. Now take the other hand, the one that didn't go back, now it's turn. And then draw the shoulder back as you look, now moving your other hand across to hold the leg and looking back. Gosh, this feels good. And breathing. So making ourselves available for our later, more vigorous poses. Slowly returning back center. Sometimes it's the returning back that things go boing. Let's come to our hands and knees. You can use pillows and things, like if your knees are very sensitive, and because I did a long and steep hike yesterday, my one knee does feel a little used, so you might want some extra padding. If you don't want to use a pillow, maybe you have your towel or something else, or you can lay extra padding here. And if you don't need anything because you're on carpet, well, then you don't need anything. I'm coming to my all fours position, where I place my knees under my hips, place my palms, and load my shoulders over. So we did some flexing and cupping of the hand, but that still may not work for your wrist. So remember, the alternative is to the knuckles with the thumbs forward, pulling out of those shoulders, so not sinking down. And let's wake up our core. So we're going to do a modified version of this, and then later we can do it on our toes in a full plank or modified plank. So what are we talking about here? So you're on your all fours, and you're going to alternate the arms. So it doesn't matter if it's right, left, right, or if it's left, right, left. You're going to lower down onto one forearm and then follow it with the other one. Coming back with the first hand that you put down, first arm that you put down, pressing into it and rising up. Now you're back where you began. Go down with the other arm, placing the forearm down. Now the elbow is under your shoulder, and the other arm forward. Come back with that first hand that you put down. Check in with your core and realize its importance. So this is the simplest, and you can keep this one as we progress, but let's do this together one more time. Find your breath, lending support, taking your time so you get all that proper alignment, and just recognize where your power and strength is coming from. I'm going to show with the knuckles for those that are using that option. I go down and down. First arm loads and second arm loads. Okay, let's try a more vigorous one. So I'm on my knees, but I'm going to push off my knees and come to a full plank and then set my knees down. So it's not back here where I'm in all fours. I came to a plank, and to modify, I set the knees down. From here, let's try that first arm and the second arm, and then the first arm, and then the second arm. Go to your second arm first, if that makes sense. Your second arm. Back to your second, and then first. So repeat that. Down, down, up, up, and last time, down, down, up, and up. Let's take a moment in child's pose. If you need to modify because for whatever reason a full child's pose is not advisable, you come to the puppy dog, folding the hands, placing the head down and the hips are elevated. If you can go more deeply, maybe wiggle or squirm around, feel free. So you're resting your wrist at this moment because the third one is from a full plank. But you have the option to do all fours or modified plank or full plank. One more breath. Okay, so either back to your all fours, into your plank or modified plank, and we go down on the first arm, followed by the second, back to your first, and up to the second. Now go down with that second arm first, and down, and up, and up. Is it different on the arm? Going down, coming up, and coming up. One more time, one more time. Load easy on your elbows and down and up and up. So walk your hips up in the air and your feet forward. Coming from all fours, you found yourself in downward dog. Bending the knees if that's more appropriate for shoulders and back. Straighten the legs if available. Walk your hands back to your feet. Walk, walk, walk. Taking our time as we shift the hands onto our thighs. So usually we go bookshelf from the top down. Now we're going from the bottom up. My knees are bent, my arms are bent. Both of those items will straighten and my body will shoot out over the mat into the bookshelf pose. So you should feel that you're a shelf that you could set something on, and your shoulders are not up, but the heart is extended forward. This is a big pull for your hamstrings. If you need a modification, you come up a little. If you want a little more, go over your knees. And then I'll bend the knees, taking my focus across my mat, drawing in through my bandha and lifting my chest, putting my hands appropriately in prayer. I am in the modified chair pose. Now, some people do this with the feet together. I always do it apart because it helps for transitions. So just kind of sit in your chair and let's play with some arm variations. Once you feel rooted into the feet, engaged with the legs, not letting them fall in or roll out. Let's reach the arms in front of us. This is the season of giving. And pay attention to your back and shoulders as the body stays still, but just the arms begin to move. Now for some, looking out is the better focus, but for others, looking up through those hands. And breathe. Let's return the hands back to the heart. Stand up just for a moment in Tadasana. Remember the elements of Tadasana, not leaning forward, not leaning back, not hips forward, not hips back. And let's return to chair pose. Hands at heart, chest is lifted. Float the arms out in a way of giving. Float the arms up if appropriate for your back and shoulders. If not, they can be at your heart or extended forward, looking up or looking forward. Staying in your chair. Strong arms. Returning the hands to the heart, take a breath. Find Tadasana. And mountain pose with arms by your side. So if you have any items on your mat, let's scoot them off. They don't have to go far. Sorry, I just coughed in your Coughed in your ear. Step to the front of your mat now. So you're going to be opening into the front side of the body. And we'll be doing a grateful warrior opening into the groins of the body. Tadasana. Stay there and breathe a second as I water myself. Allow the arms to float up without changing the torso. Bring the hands through the heart, bend the knees through the chair, and hands to the mat. Dropping the hips a little bit further and lifting the chest. Now, if your hands don't feel comfortable on the floor, this is where blocks could be worth, or just put your hands on your thighs. Let's all do the right foot back. Wiggle onto the ball of the foot. Dropping the hips, lifting the chest, feeling that opening upon the back leg's front side of the body. Bandha's breath. Lift the hips, drop the back heel. So I've established my warrior. Recommit to your lunge. Now stay with your body resting on that left thigh for a moment. Remove your hands to the small of your back. You can grab those hands or lace those fingers. Consider lifting the hands off the back. Now you're already resting your body on the front thigh, so see if you can just kind of slip inside that leg and drop your head more toward the ankle. Maybe, maybe not. The grateful warrior. Stay with your grateful warrior, release the hands, bring them up into your heart. Now, if you need that left thigh for back support, use it. Otherwise, rise up into warrior one. So we know warrior one is our chest and hips facing forward. Commit to the lunge. Feel the opening into the groin region. Check with blood pressure. So this is a more stable position with the back foot drop down. We're going to change that and flip that back heel up as you pivot into crescent pose. Squeeze the back knee straight. Now you can lace the fingers or clasp the hands. And we're going to let the hands go up over the head and bend the front knee a little more, maybe looking up, maybe not looking up. Breathe. Release the arms, lean forward, step the back foot up, come to Tadasana with hands at heart. Now you may notice that your heart is beating. This is good. Allow the arms to float up, breath in, hands to the heart, bend the knees, we go all the way down. So again, the hands can be on blocks, thighs. Mine are going to come to the floor next to my feet. Dropping the hips and lifting the chest. Now my left foot will slide back and then go further. More. Go as far back as you can. Commit to the lunge. Front knee over ankle, back leg is straight. This is the same position we do with high lunge. So I lift the hips and I'm going to drop that left heel down, establishing my warrior foundation. And keep that front knee bent and the body is resting on that right thigh. Bandhas, yes. Hands to the back. You can either grab the hands together or lace the fingers. See if you can straighten the elbows. The hands will go off the back. And now slide your body inside that right leg and let your head drop for the grateful warrior. As I'm releasing my hands back, scooting my body onto the thigh, hands to my heart. But if you need the hands on the thigh to assist you to rise into warrior one, front knee bent, back leg straight, hips, chest. Squeeze the back leg straight as you roll toward the pinky toe, Virabhadrasana 1, prayer hands. Now lacing the fingers and turning the hands up, or just stacking one hand on the other and reaching the arms up. Commit to the lunge a little bit more and lift the chest. So you could be looking outward or you could be looking upward. Flip that back heel up and go a little more deeply as you become the crescent pose. Return the hands to your heart, shift forward, and stand in Tadasana. So let's take a few moments into those hamstrings. Maybe grab a block if you want. Don't need one, you can always use your legs. I'll just put one here. Might be best to be on the long end of the mat, but you could be the other way too. So opening those legs. How far? Do you remember? Arms out, fingers down, feet are below. Bandhas, breath, crown of head, relax shoulders. Thumbs slide behind. So these are Uttanasanas, some forward folds. We'll go progressively. And the last one, we'll bind the hands behind and let them draw forward over our head. So we begin by lifting the heart. If you want to go back bend further, go ahead. On the exhale, I go forward. Now it could be as I lean into my toes that my hands stay on my thighs. Or if I had a block, they could come to the block or 2 blocks. I could make that block one of 3 heights, so whichever works the best. And then if my hands should be able to come to the mat, they would be under my shoulders, and then maybe my head might want to go toward the floor or on that block if you had one. So remember, our forward folds are an offering of calm, a sense of ease, not strain. So going further forward is not the objective. Folding over as your body allows is. This is where I suggest you have a giant pillow between your legs and you squeeze it ever so softly. As you remove your hands from the ground or your legs to the small of the back and rise up, checking in with your blood pressure, slowly traveling your eyes forward. Check that you're not dizzy. Second time, inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, slide the hands down. Now this time, if you can, 2 fingers will go in between the big toe and the second toe and lock under it. The thumb will not push on the floor. The thumb locks around the toe as well, and you use it as a little handlebar. If that one doesn't suit you, just go back to put your hands on your thighs or the floor, and we fold again. So this one you should find a little more fulfilling. Straighten your legs. So if you did the bind, you're going to release the hands, all go to the small of the back, squeeze that pillow when ready. Take your time. As you rise up, I always look to the floor and then slowly bring my eyes forward. That makes it safer for me to not start seeing blacks. Lift the chest, our third time. Exhale, I'm going to grab the hands or lace the fingers and go forward, straightening the elbows. If you find this is easy and you have your fingers laced, try joining the palms closer together. Breathe. Feel that you are opening your hamstrings, opening your shoulders, opening your heart. And this time, when I release the arms, I'm going to bend the knees really, really wide, press onto my hands on the thighs, and lift myself. So I come to here. Then I'm going to walk my feet in by heeling and toeing them. And I'm going to keep the knees bent and my hands on the thighs. My feet did not come together, by the way. So here I am doing this. Shoulders down, chest up. So we're going to do a little bit for the hip. As this left leg to you straightens, the right one stays bent. And I open up. If you can look up, look up. If you don't like looking up, just look out. Come back down, both knees bend. Now the right leg will straighten, the left leg will stay bent, and you'll reach up. Coming back down, slowly make your way to Tadasana. And then we're going to let our hip push out into its socket. Both knees will soften. Take, it doesn't matter left or right, and just push that hip. Take that hip and shove it. So you should feel a gentle pull around here. This is preparing for our eagle pose, our balance pose today. Return center, soften the knees. Now shift the hips the other way, like someone's pulling your hips out. Both knees will bend, not to lean forward. And you should feel around here. So we come to the eagle pose. If you find your balance is not working out today, you can always back up to a wall. And then when we get into the warrior pose, you don't want to be too close to it because you'll bump yourself forward. But then when you get to the warrior pose, the eagle pose, you can use your tush against the wall to somewhat hold you. But give it a try without. If you've not done the eagle pose, let's review. Tadasana, foundation. Let's just do the legs, so forget the arms and let them rest on your sides. So you're going to bend the right knee. I'm on the ball of the foot. My standing knee bends. This is imperative that we bend the standing knee. I see this done a lot with people standing on straight legs. Now lift your right leg high to cross over the thigh, way up high and cross. If crossing at your inner thighs is problematic for whatever reason, you can bring a block, a box, or something else. So when you cross over, you're here. If it works out for some of you to go ahead and wrap that leg around your standing leg, yeah, you could do that. Then when we come out and fly the eagle, you'll stand up, open the leg to the side, pull up, and close the posture. So the block is just an option. Let's do the other side. Left heel comes up, right knee bends deeply. Lift high over that right leg, up and over, and it either touches the floor, a block, or perhaps it wraps, depending on you. After you've done that, you're going to unwrap it, let it fly to the side, fly the eagle, and return. That's what happens below, up above. So inhale, open the arms. These are our eagle wings. Thumbs are down, pinky finger up, shoulders are down. So when the right leg crosses over the left, it should be the left arm crossing over the right. But don't make yourself crazy. I used to instruct this to newbies who just, let's do right over right. and left over left for simplicity. But just understand, traditionally, it is in opposition. So it'd be inhale, lift. Let's say we're crossing our right leg over our left. So that means our left arm will come on top. Now, your hands may be crossing more at the forearm or up at the elbows. Doesn't matter. Wherever they are crossed, you bend the elbows. Now, mine were at the elbows, so I'm high up here. But if I were at the forearms, I would be here. Same thing, yeah? There's a variation where you can either leave the back of the hands together or you can wrap the hands together. I usually leave my fingers open. Some people grab the hands together this way. I just do this. And then you'll lean forward and you'll feel the broadening through your back. Fly the eagle means we let go of the arms, thumbs down. That's when the leg goes out. And then we close the posture. Let's try the other side. Assuming left leg is crossing over the right leg, inhale up. That means right arm crosses over the left arm. Bend the elbows. Leave them, wrap them, draw them down, lean a little forward. Now here's where I'm going to point something out and come a little closer. I'm going to accentuate one shoulder higher than the other because this is something that came to my awareness. So make sure that both shoulders, one may have a weakness and not pull down. So let's see, here's the other one. So when I do this side, it's pretty easy for me. When I do this side, this shoulder wants to come up. I know I have a weakness on my left shoulder, so I have to pull that down consciously. You may have a similar thing, and if you don't have a mirror in front of you, how would you know? So just be aware that both shoulders pull down to be balanced. Shall we put it together? So we're going to do the right leg, left arm. Tadasana, we begin. Inhale, right knee bend, arm comes up, standing knee bends. Exhale, cross over, either touch the foot or wrap the foot. And now lower and lean forward. Look through your fingers outward and breathe. As you fly the eagle, open everything, close the posture. Other side. Inhale. Exhale, opposite. You can either touch the foot, wrap the foot, lean forward, breathe. Fly your eagle. Close your posture. One more each side. Inhale. Exhale. Fly your eagle, breath in. And close the posture, breath out. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Lean forward. Breathe. Fly your eagle. Close the posture. Hands at heart. Nicely done. So we're going to go back to all fours, and some of you may want to do this at the chair. Last week we put our forearms on the chair in a plank. This time we're going to have a little more dynamics. You'll be in a plank, and we're simply going to move elbow to knee. I think we did this last week too. Elbow to knee. Then we'll do elbow to knee, pushing up into three-legged dog, Coming back, elbow to knee on the other side, elbow to knee, pushing up into downward dog, elbow to knee. I have a chair here, hopefully it won't move, but here's where I would do. You can kind of see. So I'm at this plank. So here's my knee. Here's my knee. I'm scooting through this rather quickly. Knee, downward dog. Whoops, chair's moving. Knee, and back, and then same thing other side. But I'm going to do it with you on the floor and use any props you need for helping you. So you can use a chair. It should not swivel and it should not slide. So putting it at a wall makes it a little easier, but it's really fun to do, I think. On the mat is a little more challenging. So come to your plank. This is our core work, by the way. So it won't matter which leg, we're just going to alternate side. So first side, knee to elbow, switch to the other side, go to the first side, knee to elbow. Now push downward dog with 3 legs, back knee to elbow, and in your plank. Other side, knee to elbow, 3-legged dog, knee to elbow, and a plank. We repeat from the beginning. Knee to elbow, other side. Knee to elbow, 3-legged dog, knee to elbow, plank. Second side, last time, knee to elbow, pushing up, knee to elbow, plank. Let's all come to our mat and be on our backs. Yes, on our backs. Knees are bent, hands cradle the head. Head is heavy in your hands. Check in with your breathing. So the legs are going to be moving, not like a bicycle, but more like a pushing and pulling. As I've told you before, the pulling is more important than the pushing. It's not this that's the hard part, it's this that's the hard part. You don't have to pull your head up, but I'm suggesting we just hold it up. So, bandhas and breath, elbows not behind, elbows not in front, elbows right here to make my focus above my knees. Bandhas, yes, that zipper motion, and my knees come up. 2 things happen, the pull and the push. And the pull is more important. And once your mind has sorted out this pattern and the importance of the pull, I want you to relax your head into your hands so that if you were to let go of your head, it would fall on the floor. So don't do that. Pulling that knee in is the hardest part. Heavy head. One more time. Both knees into your chest. Head goes down. Nice. So we're going to do the twist. Earlier I referenced us doing a different kind of twist. So you need to roll to your side and bring yourself up to a seated position. And once you're up, mimic me, mirror me. Okay. So you'll have your knees together. You're leaning on one hand, you're sitting on one hip. The bottom leg and top leg can be the same. I just find it more comfortable if my top ankle is resting on the instep of my bottom foot. That's just where I just line up. But you could do it differently. So up onto my fingers of that support hand I come to bring myself nice and tall. Now this is a spinal rotation, so we know lift before you twist. This right hand, as I've emphasized before, has purpose. It's not decoratively placed on the opposing leg. It can either push with the elbow straight, firing up your tricep to create the body to turn, or maybe you'd rather take the hand and pull it. You see, right when I did that, my body responded, you know, because we're all attached and all. So either a straight arm or a bent elbow. Get nice and tall as you breathe in, and as you exhale, push or pull with the opposite arm. Now, as you're turning and looking back behind you, I want you to notice where you feel this. It's usually in the upper belly on the side that you're leaning back to. Keep pulling, keep pushing. And slowly return center. So kind of in here, kind of a different play on your spine. Let's go the other side. Same setup, sitting on your hip, stacking the top leg over the bottom leg. For me, it's an ankle and knee. So I'm over here now, I'm gonna come up, and so I use my fingertips more as support, shoulder down, opposite hand. Now I find when I do the straight elbow, it kicks into my triceps more. If I pull here, I can perhaps go a little bit further. Just know that when you breathe in, get tall, and as you breathe out, rotate. Breathe. That belly is going to have some space to breathe down below. So breathe. And release. So today I thought we'd do some fire logs, as you might be having a fire. So let's figure out how to get there. Let's mirror me again. We're going to stay on that one side. I have the edge of my mat here to work with. So I have my knee, my shin, my ankle all lined up on this. And I'm all on my right hip as I look at you. I'm going to take this left foot, pick it up, and put it over my knee. I'm really leaning here. Then as I sit back down on my left bum, that left knee should drop. Now I'm going to push my foot over so it's more on top of my knee and use my hands behind as I feel myself settle onto both of my pelvic bones, so I'm not lifting more to one side. Now, this is what I call the with Zorro. It's kind of a Z here. So as I use my hands to lift my spine, you might be able to tell my top knee moves down and my hips are yelling at me, but it's not painful. It's mostly this hip on this side, but I get a little bit of both. So if I look down, these would be my fire logs stacked. I have a foot on a knee, and then I have the knee going toward the other foot. The more I lift, the more my pelvis moves my knees down, the more my hips have to adjust. This may not be your thing, so if you want to lay on your back, put your ankle to your knee, you can do that. It's worth giving it a try, because maybe one day you'll say, oh, I could do the fire logs. Everybody's breathing, everybody is feeling a hip, or in the fire log case, two hips. As we release, those of us doing the fire logs will rock back so we can remove that top leg without it going flying off, and then we'll just set up on the other side. If you're on your back, you just do the other leg. So I have knee, shin, ankle, leaning over. Now I take this, what would be your right foot, still leaning over. Gonna rock back to sit on my bum, and as I rock back, I can scoot this foot to be more in line with my ankle, and this is an active foot. It's not passive. It's active. It's flexed. Now I feel I'm sitting on both my bums. Now I use my hands to lift my chest. My bottom knee is going down, and I lift up. Now I'm on the other side. Is it good for you? With the hands behind, we accentuate the opening of the heart. Again, we're not feeling pain. If there's any pain, you just kind of back out of it a little bit. Discomfort, that's a whole nother category. And we're all going to relax. Now there's three options for us to get to the inside of the thigh. For those of us that did the fire logs, just opening our legs into a wide straddle, moving our buns apart, sitting with my hands behind and hinging forward might be the simplest. Sitting on a blanket or another yoga mat might also be helpful. It's not the only way. If you were close to a wall, remember we've done this one before, it's a little more passive, very effective. You get your bum up there and you let your legs just rest on the wall. That one's very nice. And then if you wanted to, now I don't have the space here with the wall, I grab my big toes, my ankles, my hamstrings, whichever, and I open my legs. I'm a little crooked here, but a wide straddle. And if you're doing the one on the back, remember your back is not rolled. Did you see what happened to my hips when I pushed my back down? So you want to keep that back up as you open into that wide straddle. So there are three options as we're going to stay here a little bit. Get there. Get thee to that position of choice. And then feel your adductors. So I always like to compliment an opening of our entire hip group of muscles because they play upon one another. So we're in that place where we want to say those words to ourselves like release, let go, and allow. Maybe resonating with our breath, steering ourselves away from pain, but knowing that patience and a little bit of discomfort can affect change. So whatever position you're in, check in with your awareness of Mula Bandha, the action of Uddiyana, that lower belly. If your feet are up on the wall, it's probably prudent to bend the knees gently first and then roll to your side. If you're on your back, stay there, we will join you. And if you're sitting in a straddle like I am, you're going to use your hands and bring yourself up. And then slip those hands under your legs, rock back, and let your feet come together. So we all will come to our back for our bridge pose. As I place my feet so that I could tickle my heels, you may want a pillow under your head. I tried to put my bun up so high it would not be a problem, and it's not. It's just very loose. So I am in that foundation pose. I notice the natural curve of my spine. I'm not artificially pushing my back down, but that doesn't mean you can't engage your abdominal wall. So for the moment, you just want to put your hands on your belly. Well, maybe one on your bum and one on your belly, because rather than squeezing your bum to tighten your abdominal wall or pressing your back down, I just want you to feel the tightening of the abdominal wall. And yes, we all have a little padding on there, so what? So exhale, tighten the abdominal wall, and you should feel it without affecting the change of squeezing your bum or pressing your back down. Then relax it. Once you know you're not squeezing the bum, you don't have to keep your hand there if you don't want to. And relax. Now this time as we tighten that abdominal wall, that knitting, that drawing together of the fibers, see if you can still breathe while holding that abdominal wall tight. I did not push my low back down. There's a little bit of gap under there, but I feel this is firm. You could probably sit on me. So that's where we want to try and be most of the day, and I'll tell you, that's just impossible. But every time you think of it, do it. Now let's put the hands back down. Mula Bandha Uddiyana action. Tighten the abdominal wall and elevate the hips. So my palms are down. I want to push into the palms. I want to push into the elbows, and then I want to press into the upper arms and the shoulders. Still firm the abdominal wall. Now your glutes are engaged because that's how you got your hips up. And I want you to feel the thighs shooting straight out rather than rolling outward. A very simple but mindful bridge pose. Now, hopefully there's nothing over my head that I'll bump into. I'm going to let the arms come up as my hips lower back down into neutral position. My arms are going to go over, tightening my abdominal wall, touching my hips down. Without letting my back hyper arch, my arms may or may not touch the floor. Mine are not touching the floor. Now, as I press into my hips, elevating again, my arms will come back down and press into the mat. These are the two end points. Each one has its very detailed application of tightening here and not tightening there. So right now my glutes are tight. When they go down, they won't be tight. As I exhale, so I have that neutral spine. My arms are straight. They may or may not touch the floor. My hips are relaxed. My back is not touching. Go up with the hips, squeeze the bum, bring the arms down and press, because when you press with the arms, you're going to get a little more elevation in your bridge pose. And go back down. Watch the low back. It's a lot to think about. Oh, my arms went to the floor. Cool. As my hips go up and my arms come down, I'm feeling a little bit more range of motion as I do this. Still being attentive to my torso. My shoulders have found some more space. 2 more times. Hips are up, arms are down. Let's go back the other way. And go ahead, slip the hands behind the head and bring the knees in. So now I'm going to just draw together into a ball. And yes, your elbows can go a little bit forward. And I just want to hold. So this isometric contraction requires that we breathe, not just hold our breath. So as my hips come in and my legs come in and my chest comes up and my head goes forward, I hold right here and breathe. Relax your neck, just let the hands be lifting. Lower your head, lower your feet, 1 or 2 at a time. Arms are going to stay together as your feet go outward. Move your right leg to the right edge of the mat. This is our crescent on our back, or some call it the banana. Then move your left leg over to the right leg. It could be they're just side by side. Some people even take that left leg and cross it over the right, depending on hips. Now the hands that are behind the head are going to release and come up right above your chest. Your right hand will grab your left wrist. The arms will go back over your head. Look at that range of motion. Thank you. And now use the right hand to pull the left hand toward the right edge of your mat. Left arm is passive, big stretch all the way along our left side. And breathe. I'm glad I did the shoulder preparation. This makes it so much easier. As I slack off the tension from the hands, the arms come up. I uncross or scoop my left leg all the way over. Find the other side of the mat with your left leg, and then move the right alongside it or over it. Now as the arms come up over your chest, the left hand grabs the right wrist. The arms begin to go overhead, taking your time. And then use the left hand to pull on the right hand. If there were a camera above you looking down, the shape would be that of a banana or a crescent. I think it was a crescent moon last night. I looked out my window and there was the moon over the mountains. It was lovely. Also, because of the rain down here, we've had some snow on the San Jacinto Mountains. And then release the tension on that arm. And now we're going to set ourselves up for Shavasana. So that could be just coming back where you are and letting yourself create that corpse pose. If you felt like you needed some socks on or a blanket over you, you could grab those. If you wanted to be on your side, you could go there. If you wanted to be on your belly, you could do that. So this is our time to do nothing, our time to step away from all that focus that we were applying to ourselves, both in mind and body, the attentiveness. And so now you surrender onto Mother Earth. So as I transition, so you can have a little bit of music, and I'll ring the singing bowl when this time is finished. So the singing bowl welcomes you from that moment of calm, stepping away from the realities of our day that has been and our days that are yet to be. And so as you stay resting gently, consider this from Edward R. Murrow. A great many people think they are thinking when they are merely rearranging their prejudice. Isn't it funny how we can come up with new reasons to support the same argument we've been making for years? We all operate a little bit like lawyers, knowing what we want others to do and to believe our client is not guilty, and continually figuring out different ways to argue for this. He wasn't there, and if he wasn't there, he didn't do it, and if he didn't do it, he is innocent. If we were to seriously consider new ideas rather than simply rearranging the old ideas, we might discover new ways to think. And so our thought today, I'm open to new ideas even when they challenge my strongest beliefs. So they're just a thought. Thanks, Edward R. Murrow. Bring yourself up to a seated position. So those holidays ahead of us will bring us memories, and hopefully they are joyous memories. So keep yourself in good order. Use your yoga practice to support you and be there to maybe change some behaviors. And I will see you next Monday as we open the arms and raise them up and put the palms together. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.